Good morning, my name is Mark Cousins and I'm your host for yet another episode of Espresso Today. Today's show comes to you from beautiful Sunnyvale, California on Saturday the 27th of June 2009. Today's topic is making espresso using a genuine Italian espresso maker. This is a La Pavone unit. I've owned it for, 10 or 15 years, and I'm here to show you how to make the best espresso at home using a device like this. You'll notice that this is different from the kind of store-bought department store espresso machines in that we have a true boiler tank here and a manual pump rather than an electric pump. The pressure gauge for the boiler is here, and there's a relief valve to prevent accidents in case something were to go wrong with the pressure regulator. So let's get started. This large cap is the cap for the boiler. We'll take that off, and then we fill the boiler with cold water. Tap water is fine. There's really no reason to use especially filtered water. Okay, so now we have it filled up. You can tell from the glass sight gauge that we have enough water, and we'll start that heating. First put the cap back on, screw it all the way down, and then turn on the switch. Now, next step is to put coffee into the coffee holder, and one mistake that people often make is, well, there's either not using enough or using too much and packing it down too hard. So we'll take a couple of scoops of espresso ground coffee, put them in. Oops, I've spilled. That's the problem with espresso ground coffee, is it's easy to spill. And then just tap it down gently, but not pack it too hard. So if you pack it too hard, it'll be very difficult to pump the coffee. Okay. Then we take the holder, drop the coffee into it, and plug it up into the espresso machine. Now this is going to take a few more minutes to heat. Okay, now we can see from the pressure gauge that the water has reached the right temperature and the pressure within the boiler is sufficient to create espresso. You notice the green arc is the normal range for pressure, and unless the needle is in the green arc, you will not get satisfactory results either pumping coffee or steaming milk. If it gets up into the red arc, you should of course immediately shut the machine off and unplug it, because that means the pressure regulating system isn't working and the pressure is too high. Below the green arc just means it isn't quite ready yet, and it will, if left on, pressurize and get the needle into the green arc. Okay, now that we've built up sufficient pressure, we can do the first step, which is to steam the milk. It's hard to see from this angle, but back where my hand is, there's a valve that controls the steamer. Simply bury that in milk and steam away. This is rather noisy, so I won't subject you to the entire process. My method for steaming milk, though, is to put my hand on the milk vessel, and when I can no longer hold it comfortably, then I know the milk is hot enough. That works as well as any temperature gauge, at least for the kind of coffee that I like to drink. I'm only making one cup here, so this will steam up rather quickly. And I duck the steamer in and out of the milk to provide a nice little foam layer on top of the milk. And I think we're just about ready. So we'll stop steaming. And the final step will be to make the espresso itself. That's actually quite simple. Take any particular vessel that you want and stick it up underneath the espresso dispenser. Ensure that we had enough pressure, which we do. It's in the green arc. Lift the handle. Wait for the coffee to start to flow. There it is. And then slowly, not too slow but not too fast either, pump the coffee. Now for a single cup of espresso, I generally do about 2 full strokes of this pump. So that was one. And here's the second one. And this will make just about the perfect amount of coffee for a single cup. Okay, having done that, we can get a cup to serve it in. I just used a regular old mug, nothing fancy. My style is to pour the espresso in first. The really fancy baristas do designs and other things, so they sometimes pour the milk in first and then pour the milk. Pour it this way. Let the foam come out. And voila, perfect cup of espresso, of Caffe Latte.